What is good, everybody? Gamer Critic back with yet another Why I'm Buying, and today we are talking about the next Capcom game, Monster Hunter Wilds. So Monster Hunter Wilds is the next game in the long-running action role-playing series. It's being developed and published by Capcom, and it's set to release on February 28th, 2025 for PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC. Let me start this out by saying you're talking to someone who only recently really got into Monster Hunter, right? Because I'll be honest, I didn't love Monster Hunter World. I didn't. I played it. I put in like maybe 10, 15 hours of it, and I enjoyed it for the time I spent, but it wasn't a game that really grabbed me. I'm not sure what it was, but something about Monster Hunter Wilds just didn't click with me. So after the 10 to 15 hours, I just put it down and just assumed that Monster Hunter wasn't for me. But then I played Monster Hunter Rise. And let me tell you, Monster Hunter Rise got its hooks in me and kept me for a whopping 140 hours. I can count on two hands how many games managed to keep me for more than 100 hours, let alone 130. And the fact that Monster Hunter Rise was able to do that says a lot. It was Monster Hunter Rise that really showed me the magic that the Monster Hunter series is capable of. But okay, let's be clear though. The biggest thing about Monster Hunter is that it's not really like changing the paradigm, right? But what makes Monster Hunter so interesting is that it's a gameplay loop that is just so goddamn addictive that you really don't have to change much. It is the same addictive ass pattern of kill, craft, kill bigger. It is like that through all the games, and it's just like that in Monster Hunter Wilds. But just like with World back in 2018, they're going to be adding a few things into Wilds that are definitely going to not only improve what was laid down in Worlds and Rise, but to give Wilds just a little bit more of an identity. There's a little bit of a story, but honestly, the story is usually never the driving point of these type of games. It definitely wasn't the driving point of Monster Hunter Rise. That was not a good story at all. And I can't really vouch for the Monster Hunter World story. Again, I only put 10, 15 hours, so I can't really vouch if it was a good story or not. But I mean, to be fair, it does look like they're putting in a little more effort with the Monster Hunter Wild story than they did with the Monster Hunter Rise story. So already, I can kind of see that there's a bit more potential here. So the story essentially focuses on you, aka the Hunter, who discovers a young boy named Nata, who was found near the borders of the Forbidden Lands, a region previously believed to be uninhabited. Nata's appearance raises questions, especially when he reveals that his tribe was decimated by a formidable creature known as the White Wrath. In response, the Hunters Guild organizes an expedition into this uncharted territory to investigate the mysterious events, assist any remaining inhabitants, and save the land while also unraveling its secrets. Again, it doesn't sound like a particularly crazy story. You know, I saw the cutscenes, but they didn't really necessarily like interest me, which again, okay, this is not the type of game where you need to go in for the story. That is not what Monster Hunter is, unless someone wants to correct me. I'll say this, the character designs are once again on point, wink. And the biggest thing, honestly, the best thing is in regard to its open world. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to have an interconnected, continuous open world. That means we as the player are going to be able to traverse a massive world of diverse biomes without one loading screen. That is awesome. That right there alone almost completely justifies buying this game. Because I liked Monster Hunter World, and as much as I love Monster Hunter Rise, I really always wondered what those worlds would have been like if we didn't have to deal with the loading screens. If we managed just to leave the village and just go straight into the open world and start fucking shit up, right? Wilds is going to introduce that idea, and it looks and sounds as great as I thought it would be. It is really going to, say it with me kids, immerse you in such a beautiful world, and I love that. If a game manages to immerse me, that is how you hook me. If I can put my headphones on and just get lost in your world, that right there is exactly how the few games that I managed to put 100 hours in got me. And if Monster Hunter Wilds is able to do that, I am fairly certain that Monster Hunter Wilds is going to do the exact same thing. Because, most importantly, the world is going to feel living because outside of the fact that it's an interconnected open world, the AI with these creatures is going to allow them to interact naturally, such as predators hunting prey or animals just grazing across the prairie. The monsters and fauna in this world not only interact with each other, but they also interact with the player, like potentially causing a stampede if you startle a huge herd. It's really not just the fact that this world is as open as it is. One, it's very reactive, and two, it feels natural. With all that, the weather and time cycles is something that is also gonna be affected. There's gonna be a changing weather pattern, a day and night pattern that will affect the monster's behavior and its availability. And with such a massive open world, it would be ridiculous if you didn't have a means to traverse it. And that means to traverse is the secret. I'm not sure if I said that right, I'll be honest. Secret? We're gonna go with secret. Full disclosure, I honestly wish we could get the palamute back, but that's not to say the secret is bad. In fact, it's pretty cool. It has a really cool looking velociraptor, dinosaur, bird looking design going on here. And most importantly, and a very big thing, the verticality. It is going to help you vertically travel the world, which is great. That right there is honestly, I think, one of the biggest reasons why I really like Monster Hunter Rise. It's not that Monster Hunter Worlds didn't have the verticality. It's just that Monster Hunter Rise took it up to a freaking 11. And it looks like you're going to be able to do something similar, if not quite as much, in Monster Hunter Wilds, which is great. So yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, honestly, its biggest changes, it really seems to be in its world and how you traverse it, which is great. But at the end of the day, you really just come to this game to kill some monsters. You know exactly what you're getting with a Monster Hunter game, and that's exactly what they are going to deliver. I genuinely think that Monster Hunter is one of the most impressive games out there simply because of how it takes such a simple concept and gives it almost constant replayability. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to bring back its 14 weapons, which is going to allow the game to cater to different play styles and strategies. The great sword, long sword, dual blades, hammer, lance, switch axe, all that good jazz. I played about 5 out of the 14 when I was playing the beta, and they all felt great. Now, if you had asked me when I was playing Rise, I would have said the switch axe, but I think with Wilds, I'm gonna go with the dual blades. I am someone that believes in death by 1,000 cuts and not necessarily go big and go home, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the biggest point I'm trying to make here. Monster Hunter Wilds, of course, is not adding any massive drastic changes. These are not crazy changes being added, right? These are small, methodical changes used to not revolutionize the gameplay, but to slightly elevate it, to evolve it a little bit, because sometimes the old saying is true. If it ain't broke, then why fix it? And that right there is the biggest example in Monster Hunter. It is a gameplay loop that is so polished and refined and perfect, you really don't need to change it. And that's why I say it's one of the best. It's so perfect, you just have to shine it up a little bit and make some small improvements. And that seems to be what Monster Hunter Wilds is doing, adding some small but very key improvements to the world, the interactivity, while just adding on upon the already great loop and combat, making it frankly better than it's ever been. I'm not expecting Monster Hunter Wilds to be like some flawless revolutionary experience. I am expecting a super fun and engaging and gorgeous multiplayer game where I get to kill massive monsters with some epic attacks and get some badass gear. And if I can get that from Monster Hunter Wilds, then I will walk away very satisfied. Now, despite the fact that Capcom has been on a roll since fucking 2017, nothing is set in stone. There is always a chance that the game could be rough. But I usually make these videos when I am just really excited and mostly really confident for a game. I am very confident in Monster Hunter Wilds. I am sure it's going to be a great freaking game, and I can't wait to pick it up when it comes out on February 28th, 2025. And that's why I'm buying Monster Hunter Wilds. Thank you guys so much for watching. My next video is why I'm buying Split Fiction. And then my Alien Isolation retrospective is almost done. That'll be out very, very soon. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. It helps a ton. If you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, you can follow me on my Instagram. That's @thegamercritic. Be good people, and I will talk to all of you very soon. All right, peace.